He's Lane Kiffin, Florida Atlantic University head coach, and he joins us, Continental Tire Coach's Corner. They got Oklahoma coming up Saturday at noon Eastern, and Coach joins us now. Coach, good to have you back. How are you?
Great, Dan. Thanks for having me.
Why is Florida Atlantic the Owls?
That's a good question. I should probably know that. I haven't stayed here long enough to learn that.
Did you schedule Oklahoma, or was that already on the books for Florida Atlantic?
That was already on. They do that stuff about 4 or 5 years in advance.
Do you are you okay being tested like this? Not many coaches go, hey, can't wait to go to Oklahoma, top 10 team, and start out my season. Can you hear me?
I lost you there for a second.
Oh, okay.
Not many coaches want to go there.
Yeah.
Play a top 10 team.
Yeah.
And then I didn't hear anything after that. But I think you would know my answer knowing me.
Are you okay with that? You like the challenge?
I love it. It's awesome. To give you something to be motivated for your players all off season. Go in and play, top 5 team in the country with obviously a lot of better players than we have. So what a great test.
Do you know what your pep talk pregame speech is going to be already?
I do not know yet. That kind of comes to me as we get closer. Just maybe let's go slow so we can kind of not get beat by over 40 points type of speech.
Wait, do you think you're going to get blown out? Honestly.
Well, I mean, they don't keep building those big buildings in Vegas for no reason. I mean, people do know what they're talking about. We're obviously huge underdogs in this game. So, and just for us to be in the game, we'd have to be one of those games where every single thing went right and you got every call your way. So, but that's why they schedule these games so these bigger programs can, I've been there where, by the time you're in the second half, you're playing your second and third string guys.
All right. When you talk to your kids, you're not going to say, why they had those buildings in Vegas, because the odds makers are always right. We're big underdogs out here. Let's try to keep it close. Now, let's go get them.
I'm writing this down right now so that I can use it. You just saved me time.
It doesn't have to be a long pep talk there, Coach.
Got it.
The difference of not having Baker Mayfield in there and Kyler Murray at quarterback, what's that present for your defense?
Well, unfortunately for us, Kyler's an unbelievable athlete. We were actually at Alabama when played him before he transferred, and he did well last season when he went in a few games. But the problem with him is you can play great defense, cover everybody, then you can't tackle him, because he's so fast. He actually, faster than Baker. So in some ways, as crazy as it sounds, for the number 1 pick of the draft, this guy's harder to defend.
Really? Well, he's a better runner. I know that, but a better athlete?
Yeah, in the college game, really, those runners, people win a lot with them. Regardless, they struggle at the next level. But college, it's hard because of the way the game's officiated and the tempo in the game. These guys, if you look at running quarterbacks, just look at them in the second half, how once defenses start to get tired, they're kind of the one position that isn't tired. So I always say, if you look at the second half, you see those Jalen Hurts of the world, those type of quarterbacks, they make huge runs in the second half once the defense starts wearing down.
Are you surprised that Nick Saban hasn't announced who his quarterback is going to be, the starting quarterback against Louisville? What's the strategy there?
Because he didn't want one to transfer. That's pretty easy.
Okay, I wanted you to say it.
I could have told you the day after the national championship he wasn't going to announce a starter, and he's going to play both of them in the game.
Do you think both of them play this year?
Yeah, they're both going to play in the first game again, so nobody transfers.
Well, you probably could have reached out then to Jalen Hurts. He could have been a nice little addition. That's not legal, is it? You're not allowed to talk to.
That would not be legal there, Dan.
I just want to make sure that just in case Jalen Hurts needs a place to play, Florida Atlantic, and then he could ask, hey, why are you guys called the Owls? And then you could accomplish two things there. What is your recruiting strategy normally in the offseason?
We have I know every coach says this, but we have a very easy place to recruit to. You have great weather. They get to live in Boca. We play really in a wide open conference, so there's a lot of points being scored. So defensively, a lot of stats. Offensively, a lot of stats. So, and I think that we put together the type of staff that's equal to SEC type staff. So you can come here and get coached the same way you do there.
Are you calling plays this year?
I help with it. Charlie Weiss Jr. is our coordinator, so he's going to call them most, but we work together on it throughout the week, just like Kendall Browse and I did last year.
But how tough is that to give up? Because it feels like you have a whole lot of fun calling plays.
I know practice is really boring. It was hard. It was hard at first. I've gotten a little more used to it, but I do a lot of the work during the week, so you do kind of still feel the same on game day, because when the plays work, it's stuff that you've designed and help put in and then make adjustments during the games and jump in, at time to time. And I actually have found it helps me be a way better head coach, because now instead of between series, spending my whole time with the offense trying to figure out what we're going to do, I'm watching the defense, special teams, managing the game a lot better. So I found it to make me a lot better head coach on game day and during the week.
We're talking to Lane Kiffin, Florida Atlantic University head coach. He has no chance against Oklahoma tomorrow, joining us on the Dan Patrick Show. How has your profile as a head coach been enhanced or helped by Twitter? Because you're very active on Twitter.
Well, I think in different ways. I think if for the people that matter to me, being recruits, parents, the people I work for, the president, the board here, it's been great, because it draws attention to the school, attention to our program, which is exactly what the president wanted us to do when he hired us. And it's worked. Out-of-state applications up over 40% in 1 year, which is unheard of, just because of the football team. So does it help nationally with other ADs or presidents? Probably not, but that's not my concern. Mm-hmm. So I know I get dinged for it, but the way I always look at it is I'm doing it right instead of doing it the other way around and just trying to please other people I don't work for and just say the right thing all the time.
Well, it's fun, but I think it makes you feel or sound younger. And you're not trying to appeal to the presidents and athletic directors. You're appealing to your kids, 18-year-old kids. At least that is what I think the strategy is.
Yeah, you walk into a home, and the kid and the parents too. Hey, we love your Twitter. We follow you on Twitter. Hey, and she starts conversations about different things and stuff. And so, I see it actually help us in recruiting.
Not that you ever leave Florida Atlantic, but the least likely destination of places that you had been at before: USC, Raiders, Alabama. I guess I could put Tennessee in there, but least likely, if I was ranking them, what would the order be? A hypothetical.
Least likely that I would return to?
Yeah. Who's number one?
Oakland, because Gruden's got a 10-year contract, so it'd be like 100 years old by then.
Okay.
So there's number one. I really don't. Tennessee actually wanted us back last year, believe it or not, the fans, which we never thought that would happen.
Yeah.
So they would be the most likely.
Okay.
And then I'll just leave the other two in the middle somewhere.
But when's the last time you talked to Coach Saban?
Not for a while. I text him stuff. I actually texted him this morning on a situation because he said, like, today's his big situation day. So anytime something new comes up that in the 3 years there that we never thought of or wasn't on something, I may draw it up and send it to him or something. Like there was a situation this morning that I did that with, but that's him. He's not, no matter who you are, he's not a pick up the phone and call and, check in and, see how things are going or ask you if you want to, come hang out or something.
I asked him, I said, does your wife, he was on yesterday. I said, does your wife ever remind you to have fun? And then he goes, people always say that I'm not having fun, but I'm having fun. And he said it like that, Coach.
Oh, I know. Fun fun is winning. And you hold that trophy and you take a picture and then you hand it away and then you go work on the next one. That's fun, Dan.
Have you ever seen him where he's like cutting loose? Like a couple of beers and he's dancing or having fun?
No, not really. I've not seen that. No. So there was that anonymous poll or whatever about coaches and who do you want to go have a beer with, and like 3 coaches like picked Nick Saban, and I'm like, first off, he doesn't drink, and second off, well, like, where would you even picture this happening?
Well, what if we went to the lake house?
Yeah, I still don't think you're gonna have a beer with him.
Okay. What if we went to Applebee's and just sat in a booth and just had some wings or something and just shot the breeze? He's not gonna let his guard down?
No, that's not his baby. He's not going to Applebee's. That's not like if you're not doing something that's not in his office, like,
oh, okay,
that's not scheduled with it. There have to be an itinerary and an agenda of the conversation, like an itinerary for the conversation at Applebee's. Like, what are we going to talk about? It would have to be
wait.
On paper sent to him 2 days in advance.
He would have an itinerary if you guys went out and just had like a social gathering?
Yeah, well, that would never happen.
Okay.
But if it did that, and I'm saying that because he's so organized and detailed, that's how he is every minute of every single day. There's not like, he just doesn't sit for 5 minutes and like have a conversation with you like, hey, what'd you do last night? Or how are the kids? Like, that's not happening. Like, there's every minute of the day. That's why he's so good. There's zero wasted time in his day from the second he wakes up. On his drive in, when he's driving in, he's already calling people about work stuff, on his 15-minute drive in.
If when you beat Oklahoma, can we have the visor from the victory? Game you used visor?
I gave you a beanie a long time ago.
Yeah, I got it. I got a USC.
From the Oregon game.
Yeah, I got the beanie.
Yeah, because the chances are really good of us beating Oklahoma. Have you ever seen their players? and have you seen ours? Wait till you watch the game like in the first quarter before we're getting blown out, and just watch us jog out on the field. Watch them jog out, and then you don't have to worry about getting the visor.
I love your strategy. You're being very coy. I like it. I see where you're coming from. This is just like when Boise State played Oklahoma years ago in I think the Fiesta Bowl. When Boise State went out on the field and then Oklahoma came out, you would have thought Oklahoma brought their younger brothers, their little brothers, and I thought Boise State had no chance in that game. And they, of course, pulled off the surprise. So there's always that chance, Coach. That's why we play the game.
I guess so. I feel like the team, like when you like play up a level, like because you like ran out of teams in your like conference, so it's like you're the 7-year-olds and you have to go play that one game versus the 10-year-olds.
Yep.
And you're like, oh boy, when you look across there, that's what it's going to feel like.
Well, have fun in Norman as only you can. We always appreciate your time, Coach. Thank you.
All right. See you guys. Have a good weekend.
It's Lane Kiffin. Man, does he can inspire you. If you're one of his players, I would love to hear that pep talk. I wonder if he's sort of self-deprecating with his team. Yes, for team.
It's so refreshing and honest. Have you seen the Vegas odds? Do you see when we come out and what they look like?
The Vegas odds. Continental Tire, Coach's Corner, brings us Lane Kiffin. Continental Tire, proud supporter of the Dan Patrick Show. No matter where you drive, what you drive, how you drive, Continental designs tires for what you do. For more information, visit ContinentalTire.com. Continental Tire, for what you do.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.